He signed ordinance.
Thank you very much. Our opportunity is I've been known Prince Johnson for a very long time, since 2005. Never met him before in my life. Neither was I here during the entire war from 1990 up to the end of it. 2005, I was in this country. He came from Ghana. And he decided that he wanted to meet with me. He called Justice Kabina Johnny and said, "Do you know this man?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I want to meet with him." So Kabina called me and said, "Senator Prince Johnson wants to meet with you." And I said, "I don't know him. I haven't met him. I should have no reason to meet with him." And he wanted to relay the message to Senator Johnson. He said, "Kabina, I want to meet with the man. I will not rest until you bring this man to me." It took about 3 weeks. And Kabina drove to my house and said, "You need to meet with Senator Prince Johnson. You don't know why he's calling you." So I wore my jeans pants and put on a white t-shirt with my slippers, and I said, "Let's go." And he called him. He said, "The man is coming over to your house." We drove into the yard. We walked upstairs on the first floor. While I was walking upstairs, I saw the late Samuel Kanyando's picture on the wall, ascending to the first floor. When I entered the first floor, along with Kabina, he said, "Where's the man?" So Justice Kabina said, "This is the man." He said, "Is this Thomas Yaya Nimle?" I said, "Yeah, this is Thomas Yaya Nimle." He said, "But where are your people?" And I said, "I don't have any people right now. I came alone." He bought drinks in crates and cartons, lined up. He said, "But I bought these things for you and your people, and you came alone. So what am I going to do with it now?" And I said, "Senator, thank you for calling me, but I don't drink." He said, "Sit down." We sat down, and we talked for about 30, 45 minutes, talking about his relationship with Samuel Kanyando and the Crown people. It occurred to me that he called me for reconciliation. And I did not ask him why he called me, but I knew that he called me to reconcile. He wanted to use me as a point of reconciliation between Nimba and Grand Juda County. So we had a discussion, and we shared numbers. And upon my departure, he gave me a hug. He said, "As of today's date, you are my friend." So we left. After 3 months, he called me. Senator Prince Johnson began that friendship as of that date and year. Up to the time he became Senate Chair on Defense and Security, every information. If he was in Nigeria, he would call me 10 o'clock at night. Everywhere. If I'm not in town, he'll keep calling. As soon as I get to town, his phone will tell him that I'm in town. Then he will call me. He said, "You are not in town. I've been calling you." Those of you who are Christians in this country, I don't know what it means to be a Christian, and I don't know what the definition of a Christian is. Whether if it's just a cup of water they put on your head, or you drop your head in the river, is that what it is and that's it? I don't know. Prince Johnson opened a church. Why did he open a church and started preaching 2-3 times a week, fasting? The man was asking for redemption. He was seeking spiritual redemption. And he assigned himself to provide community services for the length of time that he will remain in Liberia, he will remain alive. So and the only way he will be alive and be able to provide those services is to become a precedence maker. And so every presidential candidate that wanted to be president, he would pray and say, who should I carry? And then his spiritual inclination would tell him, carry President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And then he will go there and say, President Sirleaf, I will make you president. But when I make you president, I want you to buy me time. And President Sirleaf will say, yes, I'll make you president. When you make me president, I will buy you time. As old as he was, he would get from town to town, village to campaign. And President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf became president. And at the heat of 2005 and 2006, the whole world wanted World Crown Court in this country. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said, I got a nation to lead. I am not interested in World Crown Court. So he bought time and gave it to Prince Johnson. Use this time to reconcile with your soul. And Prince Johnson did. Build schools, bring his people from Nima that are educated, put them into government, providing services. In the meantime, maintaining his political positions. For 12 years he did. To President Sirleaf. We are coming. The same thing with we are. We are said, I'm not doing World Crown Court. Y'all saw Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was here. She did not do World Crown Court. Why you expect me to do so? But he was keeping Prince Johnson's bargaining, Prince Johnson's agreement. And Senator Johnson continued to provide services, preaching and asking for forgiveness. Those of you who continue preaching here, when you wrong the Almighty God, how many times did he say you should beg him before he forgives you? And this man has been asking for forgiveness for 21 years. And people are running around. Prince Johnson killed it. Prince Johnson did that. How many times did Saul pray for forgiveness before he was forgiven? How many times did Nicodemus pray before he was forgiven? That you cannot forgive Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson was fighting, and I was not here. I was told by some of my crown people who were at BTC. Prince Johnson came to BTC, and those said, open the gate for my brother. And Prince Johnson walked in with his soldiers well armed. He said, leave them, let them come, they're my brothers. There should have been no fight between Prince Johnson and I. And they walked into the church. And he promoted Prince Johnson and made him field marshal. This is the man that was fighting him. He made him field marshal. You are field marshal as of today's day. Go back to Freeport, you and I got no fight. While the crown people were taking their guns from unsafe to kill all of them. And those said, do not touch them. At that time, those had already forgiven Prince Johnson. We the crown people, let me say this to you. We are tough, but we are very forgiving. We are very forgiving. We let that go a long time. To the extent where we have turned grandchildren over to Nima, who got 15,000 registered Nibayans in grandchildren today. Senator Prince Johnson have been calling me all the time. Distinguished, 10 o'clock in the night, he will call me distinguished. Did you hear the speech that was made today? And I said, yes, I heard it. But it was inaudible. And he said, I am troubled. And I said, don't be troubled, leave it. We got 6 years to go, we're going to fix it. And he says, are you sure? And I said, yes, sir, I believe you. You are the educated one. Whatever you say, I agree with you. Then he watched the YouTube interview with Alan White. he sends it to me. And he says, Senator, I sent you something. So I said, I will read it tomorrow morning. He said, you sure you don't want to read it tonight? I said, no, he's sorry. I did not read it. He came here. We got to work here. He turned his chair around towards me. He said, I sent you something. And I said, yes, I read it. He said, it's troubling. It has always been troubling for this man who has asked for forgiveness. His life has been troubling. We signed the resolution here in this house. He didn't know. The day we were preparing it in protest office, he was not there. And we started the signature ready. When he came here, and he said, what are you doing? He said, we already signed 29 senators already signed. Then he asked, I was sitting right here, and he asked, he said, the Senator Nimlin signed? He said, yes, Senator Nimlin signed. He grabbed it, he checked it. Give it to me, I was sign. And he put it right there while he was signing. I could see his hand trembling while he was putting his signature on the paper. I don't know whether if he did or said that. He felt let down. He sat here, he never looked at me, he never said anything to me. And we went home. Then he called me 10 o'clock at night. Distinguished, why did you do that? Why did you sign this paper? I was depending on you. Why did you sign? I was left dumbfounded. I have no answer to give my brother. And I said, let it go. Let it go, we will work on it. I don't want to keep you for a long time because if I keep talking, I'm going to start sharing tears. He paid his dues. Those of you who are alive and don't want to forgive him, you are not God. As far as I'm concerned, he paid his dues. And I want to tell my crown people, Prince Johnson paid his dues. What we need to do next? How we lead this country to unity and friendship matters right now. And as we can see, we are not leading right. We have to regroup as a nation and decide what we do next. Brother Johnson, may your soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Lofa County, Senator Councilor Joseph Jara.